reporting to you for Dates and Cakes, and today's episode is a continuation of the travel dates epidemic, and it is going to be brought to you by eggnog, because sometimes you just gotta nog through it. So, Noggin Dude. So, the first date I'm going to hit you with was Perdido Key, which is a small drive outside of Myrtle Beach. When I lived in Charleston, drove over there for a friend that I actually knew in Texas through college, and loves the whole Charleston area, is a Clemson fan, all of that. So we'd been friends, but there was always like kind of an underlying like back and forth attraction. I don't know. He may watch this and be like, ew, I wouldn't touch her with a 16-foot pole. Don't know. But I guess we'll never know, because I went over there and with a bag, just in case, because he was like, yeah, we're going to be drinking, like, we got the whole house, like, my dad will be here too, but, like, you know, and his dad was older, had Alzheimer's, and we were there to watch the Kentucky Derby. Well, you better hold your horses if you think that this story is going to, you know, end up in a cute little, giddy-up fashion. He ended up staying on the property while I went to the beach alone, which is fine. Anyone that knows me, that is cool. We've got our milk and adding all of our vanilla, cinnamon, and orange peel, because it's going to be appealing. So then we started drinking, and I was definitely picking up on some cues. He was super flirty, but then I was like, okay, I need to probably not drink too much, because it seems like I may have to get out of here. So it got to the point where, not by choice though, got to the point where the derby was about to start, and we were talking about old times, whatever, making drinks, shots, and then he was like, yeah, I'm pretty tired, I'm not feeling well. And I was like, what you want me to do about it? I'm not a nurse. Like, okay. And he was like, yeah, I think I'm just going to call it a day. And I was like, are you asking me to leave? And he's like, well, Dad's just not doing well, and, yeah, it's just probably... And I was like, the show hasn't even started yet, or the game. Match? Race. There we go. Tell I'm a horse fan. I was driving back scheming, because... I don't know. I don't know what I expected, but not that. And then, come to think of it though, right after that, I went downtown and went to a, so I went back to Charleston. I went downtown and went to a comedy show. So that was cool, like improv. And then that ended with the guy saying, hey, do you want to come into my room? We have to be quiet though, because all my roommates, he had 4 roommates. And I was like, I'm gonna go. It's been real though. Next city, the Fort Worth Stockyards. So it's pretty fun to play tourist and tour guide. In this is sugar, because you gotta pour it on me sometimes. Nutmeg, I did half a teaspoon. Then cornstarch, which is gonna be our thickening agent. And a little bit of Himalayan salt, because it's breakfast in the Himalayas. I don't know if you remember that commercial. I love it. And then we're gonna do an egg yolk as well. And you're gonna whisk this. So, and you probably shouldn't be using a stove, but I have very limited counter space. So we are, just like these dates, we're making the most of it. So the next one, so the Stockyards went down there and just felt super country, because the girl that was helping my date find a hat, a cowboy hat, she is dating someone from my hometown, and she was like, oh my gosh, I love everyone from Keller, like, I've never met anyone from there that I didn't like. And I was like, that's why we're getting along so well. And I don't think he was pleased by that, but like, I had a good time. And it's funny because I always try not to like claim Texas, but moments like that, I don't know. But I hadn't been down there since the Stockyards, since X's on my hand. Wash them in the bathroom and drink like the band in the set list. Anyway, but you should trust me. So next one is going to be Myrtle Beach. Had to drive through Myrtle Beach to get to Murrells Inlet, but this one is was strictly to go to Myrtle Beach to do this like adventure zone, basically, where there was like
zip lining, but it was like zip line obstacle course. I don't know how to explain it. And then there was like a Margaritaville and like a boardwalk and all this stuff. So, yoke's on me to think that the fun was going to last, because I get there and I don't know if I wasn't what he expected. I mean, he didn't seem deterred. And then we go, he worked for this like display company for wine and beer. And so he had this umbrella, Ella, from one of his displays. And he, so he gave me that. And I still have it. I actually used it in, well, I don't have it anymore. Gypsy gave it away. But I did have it when I moved to my next beach location in Pensacola. Different story, different day. So, you're waiting for this to simmer before we add our yolk concoction in there. So things were going well until we got to Margaritaville to get some drinks. He just wasn't making eye contact anymore, and he paid for everything. I even offered to pay for one of the drinks, and he was like, "Why would you do that?" And I was like, "I mean, old fashioned, I'm down, but chivalry's not dead, thank you very much." But yeah, I don't know. He wanted a girlfriend, but I guess it just wasn't me. So, hanging on the sofa, it wasn't me. So, next one I would like to turn your attention to. Perdido Key, which was about an hour and a half drive, and it's there's a state park there, so him being military, he gets in free. So, he was so excited about a beach date, he was like, "No one ever wants to do that with me, blah, 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 blah." Well, the instant I got in the car, he looked at me. So I was wearing a tankini, so like a bikini that covers like some of your skin up here, and then short neon shorts, jean shorts. And he looked at me like I was one of the neon hippos on Hungry Hungry Hippos, and his car was filled with those little white balls. He acted like he was taking Shamu on a rescue mission to the ocean, away from SeaWorld, because apparently it's bad to have them put on shows. I am not exaggerating, and I know I'm a female. In grammar school, they taught us judgment, how to pass judgment, how to receive it, how to see what a look looks like, and what exactly they're judging. And that is 112% what it was. That's where his eyes were going, straight to my stomach, and like, I don't know if because the first date, like I was wearing high-waisted pants on the date, if like that sucked it all in, but he said I was hot then, which should have been an indicator, because hot and pretty or beautiful or whatever are very different. Just like with a guy, like cute and then like studly or strapping are very different. Yeah, I use old-fashioned words, whatever. So we get halfway to the beach. Like I said, it was a drive. I was starving, and I'm sure he was like, of course the heifer wants beef. Like, isn't that cannibalism? Because I had a burger, and it was delectable, and I have no regrets or shame. And I only ate half of it, which, I mean, hey, if I wanted to eat all of it, then I could have. And then the rest of the ride was kind of awkward, so I talk about what I always talk about when it's awkward, is music, because I feel like everyone can find a common ground, even if it's Mozart. So we start talking, the used comes on, and on his iPod, and I told him the story about how when I learned of the used, that was the same time I discovered Chiodos. It was in photography class in high school, and instantly he was just like, "Oh, the Chiodos? Like, no one talks about them, blah, blah, blah." So we're, I got him back. I drew him back in, and then we get to the beach, and he won't touch me. He won't go near me. I mean, the ocean was definitely big enough for the two of us. The power of Irish. The fighting Irish. He told me that he actually lived in Virginia and was just on a training session. I'll add the rest later. Let me just see how this jives. And he was hoping to find someone while he was on the summer training. So he's looking for a summer loving, which I am kind of dressed like Sandy. So where's my Danny? Where's he at though? Not him. And then end up back in Texas, but to have her own thing going for her. I'm sorry. Carry the one. How does that calculate? You're going to meet someone, you're going to be deceitful and not say that you don't even live there. And it was a rental car. How the heck I didn't add these together? I just thought he kept his car really clean. It didn't look like a rental car. Like, there was no sticker on the side with, like, you know, a little scan here if you'd like to rent me. So, like, it just blew my mind that he was that deceitful and that shallow. Like, crazy. And wanted to go back to Texas. The irony of it, I'm in Texas right now. How weird is that? Another one that was a trip that was, like, required no hotel stay was this guy in Georgetown, South Carolina, which was like 45 minutes from Charleston. And he was so cute. Had a kid, which, like, I don't always go for guys with kids, but when I do, stay thirsty, my friends. But he was just so cute. And then he ghosted me hard, but it was so weird because he showed me everything in his hometown and, like, oh, this is where I went to school and this is all this stuff, and, like, we had sushi. So I don't know if, here's what I think it is. I think that he judged my selection of sushi and was envious that I am better with chopsticks than him. So unfortunately, I've got more stories, so I think we're gonna have to make this a 4-parter or a 5. I even made a list of almost trips, and there was one this week, actually. I almost went to Oklahoma City. Till next time, y'all. Dates and cakes. Oh, that is good. Needs more nutmeg and more Jameson.